Hotep, Shalom, Namaste, Kol Asher, Hava. Today I want to talk to you about the power of Ehyeh, Ehyeh. In Exodus 3:14, an entity came unto Moses and told him. Moses was saying, he told Moses, Hebrews are in exile. I've heard their cries, I heard their prayers. I want you to go and tell them that their God heard their prayers and I will release them from captivity. Moses said, they won't believe me. What is your name? They're not going to believe. If I just walk up to these people, they're not going to believe God sent me. What's your name? And he told Moses in Exodus 3:14, Ehyeh, Ehyeh. What does that mean? I am that I am. So when Moses went to the Hebrews and he was like, God's going to free y'all. They looked at Moses and said, what God? What's his name? When did God ever care about us? What is God's name? And Moses told him, Ehyeh, Ehyeh, which means I am that. That I am. I am that. That's what Ehyeh, Ehyeh means. And they must have looked at Moses like, what are you trying to say? You saying you God? Because he's saying I am that. In English, who is God? And in English, it's I am. That's what he said, I am. Ehyeh, Ehyeh, I am that I am. And they probably thought Moses was crazy at that time. Moses said, I am that. Yahweh, which is Ehyeh, which is he exists. It's the third person. He exists. Ehyeh. That's when they said, oh, okay, we get it now. Yeah, so you talking about a real deity. And then the 10 plagues and all that, they was freed. But the esoteric knowledge, the esoteric meaning behind all of this, the true purpose, the true meaning, the significance behind all this, Moses was one with God. Moses was one with all things. Ehyeh, Ehyeh, I am that. I am that. That I am. God is one with all things. Not God in the flesh, but God's spirit. Paramatma, as you may call it. The oversoul. Everything. The Japanese got it right. God is within all things. Hindus also believe this. The Aghoris, they believe God dwells within all things. This is why they eat feces or they drink from human skulls. Because God is within all things. Whether it stinks, whether it smells good. Because if God wasn't there, it wouldn't exist. Period. If God wasn't within these things, they wouldn't have permission to exist on this plane. It's not a planet, but a plane. They wouldn't have permission to exist here if God wasn't within them. God is within all things, even within demons. However, it's what you do with the gift of God that considers you evil or good. If I give you a gun, the gun isn't evil. But that gun gives you permission to have authority. You have authority over other people because that gun gives you power. It's what you do with that gun that makes you a good person or a bad person. I'm going to break it down to you. Now listen to this, brothers and sisters. Everywhere you go, point. Don't point physically, but look at it. With your intention, take all your intention. Look at it. I am that. Look at the sun. I am that. Look at the ground and say, I am that. Look to your left. Whatever's on your left, say, I am that. Everywhere you go, say, I am that. I am that. That I am. That's me. That's me. I am that. I am that. You are one with all things. You are one with all things. Children, babies, toddlers, mothers, wives, people who are locked up. You are one with all things. You are one with all things. Yeah. You are one with all things. Sorry. Bye. Bye. You are one with all things. Bye. You are one with all things. Everywhere you go, say, Ehyeh, Ehyeh, Ehyeh. Point at it and say, Ehyeh, 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 Ehyeh. That's the Hebrew meaning behind it. When you become one with all things, you will see yourself within other people. As you see yourself within other people, it will be impossible for you to hurt these people. That is what Buddhism is all about. When you see yourself within someone else, you could never hurt that person. That is the meaning behind this knowledge. Moses was one with God. That's why he was given the word Ehyeh. Wherever you go, point to it. The stars, the sun, the moon, the clouds, other people. Use your mind, your intentions, the power of your soul. You are one with all these things, because you could have been reincarnated as a rabbit. You could have came back as a dog. You could have came back as a cow, and those animals are abused and killed. So why would you want to abuse a cow or an animal or eat those animals when you could have been born as those animals? Why would you want to mistreat somebody else when you could have been born as that other person? The baby you seen today earlier in the video, all babies, not just my child, all babies I love, because those could have been my babies. Not just that, but those spirits are one with my spirit. All children. I am the protector of all children, of all innocent. Any man that comes harm to a child comes through me first. They can destroy the flesh, light it on fire, throw it off a cliff, burn it up, but the soul is immortal, and it is my soul that they must come through first. Same thing with you. You are a warrior. You are immortal. You cannot die. You must stand up against. You must stand against the wicked. Period. Stand against the wicked. Don't ever give them no leeway. Give them their time and their sun. Let them brag. Let them boast. Let them believe they have powers. Let them believe they can do whatever they want. But the minute when they conceive the thought of hurting innocents, you, as a God, you stand up. You fight the just fight. You fight the righteous fight. You stand up and say, no, this isn't right. It don't matter who ordains it. If it was a God, a demon, you stand up. You stand up against that demon and fight. You stand up against that God and fight. Even if God itself wanted to destroy and kill innocent people, you stand up against that God and tell that God this ain't right. Even in the book of Exodus, God was about to smite all the Hebrews for they did something wicked in the Exodus, and God was about to kill them all. Moses said, repent, and God repented. You stand up to that God and you tell him to repent. You, within you, is a pure spirit, is a pure power, a pure energy from the oversoul. It goes beyond what you conceive as God. What you call God, the oversoul is beyond that, because none of this will not exist without the soul. None of this. No wood, no solids, no liquid, no gas, no plasma. None of these things would exist without God. No atoms, none of this would exist without the power of a God. Wherever you go, point. Look at it. Ehyeh. Ehyeh. And become one with it. You are one with all this. Use the ancient language Aramaic and Hebrew. Use those language. Ehyeh. You are one with all of those things. You are one with all of those things. This world cannot exist without the power within you. Because without that power within you, without the oversoul, you wouldn't be able to perceive it. None of this. You'd be a robot. You'd be what they call a man who evolved from a monkey on a spinning ball going 65,000 miles per hour through outer space. But you're more than that. You're more than that. You're special. Not because I say so, but because you've been created. You have a purpose. That's the first right of life. All entities have the right to be here. No one has the right to tell another person they don't have the right to live on this planet. You don't believe me? Leave this earth. Leave this earth with the thought you have the right to tell others to leave this planet, to leave this plane of existence. You will suffer in this life and the next.